Yo, what is up guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this simple booth system where you can walk up to a booth, you can claim it, and you can edit the text. Let's get right into it. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do once you're in a studio is we're actually just going to insert a part right here and we're going to make our booth. And I'm going to do a time lapse really quick and I'll be right back when I'm done building this booth. Alright, now once you have your booth modeled, I'm not the best modeler so it doesn't look the best. It took like a minute to make a quick booth. Now, once you have this done, you're going to want to select the sign part. This is like the actual part that's you're going to put your text on and everything like that. And it's going to click on that. And we're actually just going to, here, let me just group everything right here. So select all the parts of the booth, and then click Control G to group them. And I'm just going to name this to booth. Oh my god, my cap lock's run. There we go. And now once you get this, select this part right here. I'm just going to rename this to sign. Just like that. And I'm going to rename this base part right down here to just base. And let me make sure that everything in here is anchored. Here we go. And now on the sign we're going to add a text label. So we're going to do a surface GUI, just like that. Just add in a surface GUI. And click the plus on that and add in a text label. And now we're going to go down to the text label. We're going to go to size, go to X, and change this from offset. See offset? Delete that, put it at 0, and then put scale to 1. And then do the same for the Y. Put it to 0, and then put that to 1. And that'll make it the same size as the actual part. And change the background transparency to 1, that way it's transparent. And down here we can select the font that we want. I'm just going to do that one right there. And do rich text and text scaled, that way the text is the size of the board. And I'm just going to do sample text, just like that. And now we're going to select this base part right down here, and I'm just going to add in another GUI. I'm going to do, no, not a billboard GUI. Do a surface GUI. And then add in another text label. And this one we're going to do the exact same things that we did to the other one with. We're just going to do rich text, text scaled, and scale the text just like we did before. And I'm just going to do, for the text, I'm just going to do owned by no one. And this will tell you who owns the booth right down here. And now that we have that done, we're going to add in a value. Just click the booth model, click the plus, and then you're going to want to add in a string value. Just add in a string value just like that. And then set the value to just be no one. No one. Just like that. And then I'm just going to rename this to owner. Here, let me just add in a part right here. Just going to add in an invisible part just like this. Just in the middle of the booth. And then I'm going to set the transparency to 1. Make sure it's anchored and can collide is off. And then let me add a proximity prompt in here. I'm just going to rename this to select. And make sure you drag that inside the booth model. And then add a proximity prompt into that one. Now if we hit play here. Now it should give us a proximity prompt. Yep, when we walk up to it, it gives us a proximity prompt. It says interact. And I'm just going to change this here. Let me go to down here, interact, change the action text. I'm just going to name it to claim booth. Just like that. And now we're going to want to actually script this. So I'm just going to add in a script to the select part. Add in a script. And in this script, I'm just going to do script.parent.proximity prompt, and then we can do .activated, or no, not activated, enabled. No, it's not enabled. It's let me start on here. So in the script, you're just going to do script.parent.proximity proximity prompt, and then you're going to do dot, and you're going to go down here and dot triggered. So when somebody triggers the proximity prompt, and then connect a function. Oh, triggered connect function, and you're going to do player, and that'll be the player that triggers it. And you're going to want to do if player, or if script.parent.owner, no, script.parent.parent.owner.value, and then you're going to do one of these squigglies, and then do equals to player.name. Then, so if the owner of the booth is not the player, and we're going to want to do and script.parent.parent.owner.value equals no one, to make sure that nobody owns the booth. Then, so if the owner of the booth is not the player and nobody owns the booth, then it will let you do this. Then you want to do script.parent.parent.owner.value equals do equals player dot name. And so now this should work. If we hit play, so if we go to workspace and if we click on the booth, we can see the owner, it says no one. If we go to claim the booth, it changed it to GrimDev. And now we're actually going to make it so you can actually change the text on the booth. Okay, first actually what we're going to do is go to script.parent.parent.base dot GUI. No, it's surface UI. Surface UI text label text equals player name. No, not plugin. Player name. And now if we hit play here, and if we hit claim booth, it changes that to GrimDev. But we actually want to do owned by GrimDev, so what we can do is just delete that, and we can do equals owned by, and then do player name. Basically what this would do is in quotes you put whatever you want to say, like owned by, and then you do and it'll change it to the player's name, so it'll be like owned by the player. So if we test that out, now claim booth, it changes it to owned by GrimDev. And now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna make the GUI that you change the what it says on the booth. So go to starter GUI. We're just gonna add in a basic GUI, and you're gonna go down to here and just do a frame. Just drag into the middle of the screen. Just scale it however we want. And then let me just change the background color to I'll do sort of a gray. Or we can do whatever color. We can do a blue even. Do I think that looks pretty good. It's not the best, but hey. And then you're gonna add in a text box like that. And this is what you're actually gonna type into to change the text. So we can scale this however you want. Just like that. And I'm gonna add in a text label. We're gonna change this to be transparent and just set the text to booth text. And set those. And for the text box, let's just change this to entered text. And now we can change this. Just change the background color to red. Nah, not a red. I'll do a darker orange. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And now let's go down here. Let's go to text editable. Make sure that's right. We're gonna do multi-line. That way, change the multi-line to not check clear unfocused, otherwise it'll clear the text every time you click on it. And now what we're going to want to do is we can just add in a script right here. Actually, no, first let's go to replicated storage. Let's add in an event. And we can just do like booth text, no, text GUI. And then make this frame invisible right quick. And now we can go to here, go to booth, go to select. And now we can go back into the script here. And we can do else, else if script.parent.parent.owner.value the owner.value equals player.name that then then so basically this will be like if the player already owns the booth. How about we do here up here we can do script.parent.proximity prompt dot action text equals, and we can do edit booth. So it'll change the text to be edit booth, and then if the player owns the booth, it'll pop up with the GUI. We can do game.replicated storage dot booth text GUI fire client and new player. So it'll fire it for the player to let them change the booth. And now let's open this back up. Let's just add in a simple X. Let's just do like an exit. And let me just change the background color to be like green. And then I would change this to say enter. I'll scale that. Just like that. So you can change the booth text and enter the text. And now we're just going to click on the enter button, just add in a local script, and just do script.parent.mouse button one click, connect function, jeez. Okay, and then do just do script.parent.parent.visible equals false. So it'll make it turn invisible once you click on the GUI. Once you click the enter button, now make this frame invisible. And so now if we hit, oh no, we need to actually add in another one. Into the frame, add in a local script. And do game.replicated storage dot booth text GUI dot on client event connect function. And now we can do script.parent.visible equals true. So it'll make the GUI visible every time you try to select the edit the booth. So let's try this out right now. Owned by no one, so if you click claim booth, it should change it to edit booth. And you click edit booth, it opens up the GUI, and you click enter and it just disappears. But right now if you type something hello, it doesn't actually like type it into the booth. So we're gonna make it so it actually does that. So if we just go down to here, go to the entered text GUI, add in a local script, we can do script.parent stop right quick, script.parent focus lost connect a function. So basically this would be like whenever the player is done editing the text, it'll do this. So we can do game.replicated storage, and let's duplicate this, and let's change it to new booth text, just like that. New booth text, and then we can do fire server, and then we can do script.parent.text. And so basically when you enter text into the into the GUI, it should send an event to the server. So now we can go into server script service, make a new script, just like that. And we can do game.replicated storage dot new booth text dot on server event connect player, or connect function player. So this would be the player that fires it. And then we can do real quick we can set the booth. So right here, script. We can do here. Actually, let's make a folder really quick. Makes it a lot easier. We can go to workspace, click folder, and we can do booths. This make it a lot easier. And then put the booth into the booths folder, just like that. And now if we actually go into here, we can do for I comma v in pairs. Then we can do game.workspace.booths get children. Do if v dot owner value player dot name, then we can do here, let's make a local really quick. Let's make a local booth equals nil. We can do nil really quick. Then booth equals game. Now booth equals v. Yeah, let's just do that. Booth equals v. And then that should make it so every time the player like enters a text, it finds the booth that the player owns. But the thing is, right now players can own multiple booths, which is not good. So we're gonna go into here. We're gonna go into the select really quick. We're gonna do the script, and now we're gonna do if we're gonna do if not game.workspace. Here, let's actually do another for I comma v. I comma v in pairs game.workspace.booths get children. Do and then right here we're gonna do if v dot o owner dot value is doing our squiggly, and then do not equals. Basically what this squiggly does is squiggly means not, so it's not equal to player dot name, then we're actually gonna, let's just copy all of this, delete that, and then put it into here. And now we should test this out. So if we hit play here, this should work, but it might not, so I don't know. Let's test this out. Claim booth, and a booth. Now the edit isn't working. So here, let's, oh yeah, okay, I see. We gotta take this, we gotta do this, and we gotta put it outside of the icon of v. And then we gotta do if, and then, yeah, then we gotta add another end. There we go. Now this should let us edit the text again. To claim booth. Oh. Okay, I think that'll work. So, now that you've done that, so now we should be able to, you're gonna want to type in this, do local service equals game get service text service, and this is, we're gonna filter the text so that way people can't put inappropriate things on their booth. So it's actually gonna filter the text. So we can do player and then do comma text, and that should be the text that the player entered. And now we got that. Now we're gonna want to go down here, and we're gonna want to go to booth. No. We're gonna want to do local filtered text equals service filter string async, and then we're going to want to do text, and then you're going to do comma player dot user ID, and then do comma enum dot text filter context, and then dot public. So this is going to get the text, get the player that sent the text, and it's going to set the context of the text to public. And now we're going to want to do booth dot, so let's see, so in your booth dot base, I think it is, no, not the base, it's a sign. So booth dot sign dot surface GUI dot text label. Surface GUI dot text label, yup, dot text equals filtered text. And now let's see if this works. It might not, but it should. So let's see. Go, so if it's owned by no one, click it, it claims the text. We do hello and hit enter. Unable to get property text string got instance. Okay. Oh yes. Okay. I understand. So we actually have to do the. This won't be the filter. This would be the. Okay. Yes, that's filter text. We actually have to do local final text equals filtered text. And what we're going to do is actually go to filter final text equals filtered text get non-chat string for user async, and then do it to final text. So if we set this and hit play here, this should work now. And walk up here to the booth, click claim booth. We just do hello, hit enter. It sets the text to hello, and it deletes that. And you can put anything here. Hello, my name is Grim. And enter. And it'll, if you put anything inappropriate here, it should filter the text, so that way, you know, your game doesn't get banned or anything. And this is basically just like a simple, a simple booth system. And we can actually clone this. So if we clone this and move it over here, the player actually shouldn't be able to purchase two booths at once. So I click claim booth on this one, and if I go over here and click claim booth, okay, that's a problem. That's a big problem. Alright, so that's going to be a problem since it lets the player own multiple booths. So we're going to actually go back into the booth, go to select, go to the script, and now we're going to make it so when the player claims the booth, we're actually going to do local tag equals instance.new. And then we're going to do a value. Let's just do a bool value. Bool value. Just like that. And we're going to do tag dot name equals, and we're just going to do owns booth. And I'm just going to do tag dot parent equals player. And now let's go back into here again, and we're going to do if v.owner.value. Let's actually change this so we can do if player find first child owns booth. So we're going to actually if not. So if the player does not own a booth, then it should do this. So let's duplicate this again, and let's try this out and see how that works. Alright, so claim the booth here. It should let us claim the booth, but now it shouldn't. It doesn't. Okay, that's good. Now it doesn't let us claim two booths. We can only own one booth at a time. And we can still set the text. Alright, that works. So now, I think, what am I going to say? Okay, so now we're actually going to make it so okay, so now we're actually going to make it so when the player leaves the game, it makes it so the booth is owned by no one again. So we're going to do player removing connect function player. I'm going to do if player dot name equals script dot parent dot owner dot value, then script dot parent dot owner dot value equals no one script dot parent dot, and we're gonna do not sign, we're gonna do base dot surface GUI dot text label dot text equals, and then we're gonna do owned by no one. Alright, so if we actually go to here, if we make a server, here I'm going to make two of these just in case. So make a server and start the server up. Just gotta wait for this to load real quick. This one. Alright, so now that we're in this server, we just hop in and claim a booth. Just got this to hello. Enter. So now I can only claim one booth at a time. It won't let me claim the other one. And it says owned by player 2. Now if I actually here, let me leave the game real quick. So here, let me hop onto the, let me show you the other one real quick. Place one. So let me just hop onto the server if it will let me get the server. Just like this. Alright. So now in the server, now if I leave the game with the player that owns the booth, I just hit leave. Now you see it changes it to say owned by no one. So when the player leaves the booth, it'll automatically reset the booth so somebody else can come around and do it. So if I just come in with this guy over here, and then I can come in and claim the booth, and I could set my own text. And yeah, that's basically it for this tutorial. I'll have a link in the description where you can actually download this system if you don't want to have to script it yourself, you know, if you're lazy. So thanks for watching. If you want any more videos like this, just make sure to like and subscribe, and see you in the next one. Peace.